You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to set up an LLC correctly. I'm Jonathan Feniak, and I've helped thousands of solopreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, set up their LLCs and get the legal protection they need to be successful with their business. The truth is, there's a lot of LLC setup services out there that are selling things to you that you don't actually need to get started. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what's essential for your LLC and what's just wasting your money when you're just getting started. So let's start with what you absolutely need to get that limited liability protection you want with that LLC. Number one, you got to form the company. The articles of organization, these documents are filed with the Secretary of State, and they legally create your LLC and provide that limited liability protection, or at least the promise of the limited liability protection you're seeking. Then you've got a company now. What do? You need an EIN. This is your employer identification number from the IRS. Even if you don't have any employees, you still need an EIN. It's like the social security number for your business, and you're gonna need it to open up that business bank account. That really is the critical part here. The EIN and the bank account go together. You need the EIN to get the bank account open. The separation of your business assets from your personal assets, that is a cornerstone of limited liability protection, so you do absolutely need that business bank account. Third, you need an operating agreement. Even if it's only you, I highly recommend you have an operating agreement. This internal document establishes your LLC functions, how it works, and it strengthens your limited liability protection, because if you don't have it, it shows you're not serious about this company, and courts will use that against you. Without that operating agreement, without documentation, you are more vulnerable to having something done to you by a court. It's called piercing the veil, where they hold you personally liable for business mistakes and liability. So many companies out there charge extra for an operating agreement, so you may be tempted to skip it, but it is absolutely necessary. Let's start with what you absolutely don't need. You don't need a website or business cards or a logo to get limited liability protection. And someone who is focused on selling you those things, I can tell you right off the bat, they are not as concerned about your limited liability protection as we are. So I like to focus, and I want my clients to focus on compliance and asset protection, right? You don't need to spend thousands of dollars going to a law firm or going to someone who promises you pie in the sky when it comes to your business. You need the limited liability protection. Most solopreneurs don't need to hire an attorney. I'm an attorney, right? I'm saying you don't need to hire me. If you go to the right provider that you trust, you're not going to need to pay an attorney thousands of dollars to create other documents and things that you maybe or most likely do not need. There are some exceptions here, but we're talking about solo entrepreneurs, right? It's just you. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you need to spend thousands. If you need more and you only feel comfortable forming your company after you've spoken with an attorney, we offer access to attorneys who, for a very low fee, without a retainer, without any complexity, will guide you and answer those questions that you have. Another big part of what I see people get, let's say, ripped off on is that they get a business package that includes licenses and like as if you're in a highly regulated industry. But for most people, solo entrepreneurs doing consulting or doing something fairly simple, you don't need to worry about those kinds of licensing requirements. There are exceptions if you're in a regulated field, right, by the state. You got to look into the details of it, but most people don't need those kinds of things. They can, if you're not sure, right? If you're not sure if you need it or not, then I would say go to local government resources to see if you can get a quick and easy and free answer to your questions. And finally, you don't need expensive legal consultation packages for solo entrepreneurs that connect you with attorneys who aren't specialists in this specific business area. Remember, the important part here is compliance for your LLC, and worry about those other things at other times. Creating a simple compliance calendar with important dates related to your LLC is critically important. Whether it's quarterly tax payments or renewing your LLC, you gotta make sure you know when those things need to be done. Remember to revisit your LLC structure annually as your business grows. Are you bringing on partners? Are you bringing on managers? Have you expanded the business in some way? Do you need to modify what it is you're doing? Having it as part of your routine to evaluate those things, ensure that your business will continue to grow and your LLC will continue to protect you. Or if you want to avoid the headache of doing it yourself, go to llcattorney.com at the link in the description. We will get your documents filed with the Secretary of State in 24 hours or less. We can get you an EIN. We can get you set up with a bank account, and we can give you the documents you need, including an operating agreement, to run your company and deliver on the limited liability protection you signed up for. Check out this next video to see exactly how easy it is to get started.